morning. Welcome to 49ers in 5, your daily update on everything happening with the team that you need to know. I'm Rob Stats Guerrera. Today is Monday, May 22nd, 2023. Here's what's happening with your San Francisco 49ers. OTAs officially begin today, which means the 49ers will be back on the football field. Practices are scheduled for today, tomorrow, and Thursday this week. And before they get started, I thought I'd give you 3 things to keep an eye on. First, of course, the quarterbacks. And I'm not talking so much about how Trey and Sam Darnold look, but more about how they split the reps. Does Trey get the first crack at it? Is it a 50-50 split? Now, I fully admit we don't want to draw too many hard conclusions from a few days of practice, but I do think it's worth following as we go along. Also, it might be worth keeping an eye on some players' social media accounts because maybe some comments start to leak out. Remember, the media is not going to be there every day, so you may be able to get some information that way, good or bad. The second thing to keep an eye on, the offensive line. There are a lot of questions there, and the fact that Trent Williams is not going to show up is going to open up opportunities for other tackles, not to mention the fact that I think right guard is very much up in the air, as well as many backup positions. Jason Poe, Matt Pryor, Joey Fisher, and John Feliciano all have a chance to make a good impression, and let's hope they do. The third thing, what happens at linebacker? Obviously, we know Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw are going to start. That goes without question. Who is going to be in Azeez Al-Shire's spot? Can Marcelino McCrary-Ball really fill those shoes? They like him a lot, and he is fast as hell. But the Niners also drafted 2 other linebackers this year in Dee Winters and Jalen Graham, so they obviously see the position as up in the air. One more honorable mention really quickly. Wide receiver. Again, the top of the depth chart, pretty much settled. Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk. But as far as I'm concerned, everything else can be had with a good showing here in OTAs and training camp and the preseason. Right now, Juwan Jennings has earned the job as the go-to man on third down, but I don't think it's impossible for him to lose that spot, and the same goes for Ray McLeod at the 4. Danny Gray definitely has something to prove this year, not to mention Ronnie Bell, Isaiah Winstead, Tay Martin, and more. We always give you one thing to read, one thing to watch, and one thing you might have missed. One thing to read on this Monday, David Lombardi at it again. He has another very good profile in The Athletic, this time on 7th-round draft pick Braden Willis. Apparently, Willis's tight end coach in college was actually a practice squad tight end with the Niners during the Vernon Davis-Delaney Walker days. Really cool stuff. One thing to watch, tomorrow's OTA practice is the one that's open to the media, and we're going to hear from Kyle Shanahan and select players afterwards. Now, again, it's just a couple of practices, so we can't draw too many conclusions, but I love hearing from people on the team, especially after they've actually been on the field doing some work. One thing you may have missed, in addition to OTAs, the NFL is holding league meetings today, and the owners could vote to allow games to get flexed into Thursday Night Football, despite the fact that no one else really seems to want it except the owners. Roger Goodell tried to get the necessary votes in March and came up too short. If the rule does pass, and it's likely that it will, there is no information yet on when it would start or how often the league could flex a game into a Thursday spot. That's a wrap on today's 49ers in 5. Please rate, review, and follow the Gold Standard Podcast Network. Enjoy your Monday, everybody. I'll be live with Vish Kumaran again on the Gold Standard Podcast Network YouTube page. We'll do that at 10 a.m. Pacific time. I'm Rob Stats Guerrera. We'll talk tomorrow.